Good morning, you guys. 7:15 in the morning. I have been getting ready all morning. I'm now sitting down with a cup of coffee and about to put half of my face on. I need to leave at about 8 o'clock to get to work today because my sign-on is at 9:15, but I need to stop at the store on my way first. Today is going to be a long day. I'm doing the 3 legs again. Yesterday was a really good flying day. We made it to Durban. I'm flying with Debbie today. I was flying with friends, basically all the crew I already knew and I love, and so it was a really easy day to go through with them. And today I am doing the same 3 leg, I think. Yes, I'm doing the same 3 leg, except it's gonna take much longer today. We're signing on at 9:15 and we're only finishing at like 8 p.m. today, so it's a long day just because we have really significant airport sits in between and we're not staying on the same aircraft. But yeah, I guess I'll talk to you guys later, or no, not later. Let me actually open the advent calendar right now, because knowing me, I'm not going to want to open the advent calendar when I come back later, so let's do that right now rather. Today is day 13, right? What's your unique Christmas tradition? Share it with a bestie. I don't think I have one. Growing up, my parents never really celebrated Christmas that much. I celebrated at school, where we would do things like Secret Santa, but at home all my parents would do, and I'm sure a lot of black South Africans can attest to this, for Christmas all you knew you were getting was new clothes for the next year. Christmas wasn't a big deal at home, but I think it's always had a special place in my heart, so that's why I try to make it such a big deal now that I'm an adult and I can celebrate it myself. You guys let me know what unique Christmas traditions you celebrate in the comments, please, because I know not all of you come from South Africa, so it would be really interesting to see what you guys do around the world from different countries and stuff, and what your favorite Christmas tradition is. Since for me, I celebrate Christmas my own way, I can always bring some of those in and do what you do, whatever sounds fun. So yeah, let me know. I am guessing that this is heavy. It's another heavy item. It feels like it's gonna be another like shampoo, conditioner or something, but I honestly have no idea what it is. I don't know what this is. Ooh. You guys, I wanna love this so much. It's shower gel, right? Don't get me wrong, I love the fact that it's shower gel, but look what flavor it is. If you guys remember from a few days ago, I got the pink grapefruit hand cream, and I mentioned that that is the only scent from Body Shop that I dislike. Like, I can't see myself using this, so. As you can see, the airport has gotten much busier than what it used to be. Look, an Emirates plane just landed in Durban. We're currently waiting for our plane. As you can see, our bay is empty. Off. Oh. Just landed back in Joburg. It is almost 9 p.m. and it's raining. You know, today would have been like a 7 out of 10, honestly, but then getting home and finding that someone has blocked you from your parking spot and you have to then find a random patch of grass to park your car in and then walk in the rain in your heels carrying your suitcase for work just to get to your front door, that brings it down to like a 4. It usually wouldn't be something that's that big of a deal to me. I would just ask the person to move their car, but that's the last thing I want to do. Like, it's honestly not that big of a deal, but at this hour, after the hours I've been at work, I'm just more irritable. So I just got home and took off my eye makeup. So today was a good day. The crew is good. I was in the back. I was flying to right. We flew first to Durban, and that was a hectic flight because we were so busy. Now that we're also doing catering, it's even more of a rush, because not only do you have to do your security checks and your pre-flight checks on your equipment and stuff, you also have to count your catering and have it signed off before departing. It was a full flight. I think we had 178 passengers. It's only a 45-minute flight. Then service was really busy because everyone decided to order. Like, I think there was maybe 3 rows of people that weren't interested in buying anything. We started descending and we weren't done with service yet. So, and because we were getting off of that aircraft, we had to still count our closing catering before we could get off, so we could seal the trolleys before we got off. So it was really hectic. Then we landed in Durban and we had a good like 2.5 hours in Durban, so we decided to go to get breakfast at Wimpy. Got on the next plane, operated down to Cape Town. That was the one where I had these parents with a 2-year-old who didn't want to keep her in her own seat. And the thing with that is, once your kid is over the age of 2, it is a national, like, civil aviation authority regulation that your kid has to take up their own seat with their own seat belt. They can't sit on your lap like a baby would. And so these parents just were not happy about that. I've experienced it so much, having parents that are unhappy to put their kids in the seat for the takeoff and landing, that when they were boarding, I already told them, because I boarded them and I said like, okay, your kid is over the age of 2, right? And they were like, yes. And I was like, okay, she has to be in her own seat for takeoff and for landing. You can hold her during the flight, you can have her on your lap during the flight, but for takeoff and landing, she has to be in her own seat. And they were like, well, she's sleeping, so what should we do? And I was like, put her in her own seat. Like, there's no way around it. Like, the rules aren't going to change just because she's sleeping. We finished boarding, finished doing the demo and everything, and now we're securing. The pilots are waiting for us for cabin secure so that we can take off, and the mom still doesn't want to put her child on the child's own seat. And the thing that's funny is that not only did I tell them at the door, but after the demo, my 2 left told them, and then I had to tell them again, and then my senior had to come up and also reiterate everything that we just said. And then even when we were landing again, when we were securing to land, actually still on descent, before we needed to secure the cabin, I already warned them, like, listen guys, heads up, same story as with takeoff, she's gonna have to be in her own seat. And they were already like not happy with that. And then when we were securing again, they kind of just made it even more of a fuss than it needed to be, in my personal opinion. Like, I feel terrible because I get it, you don't want to have a crying baby, nor do you want to be in a space where you're surrounded by complete strangers and you're the only people with a crying baby. So I get it, but at the same time I feel as though that's why I warned them in the beginning of the flight, so that the kid can get a chance to get used to being in its own seat from the beginning of the flight. So by the time we're landing, it's not a surprise. That's just something that took a lot of time out of that second flight today. Really tried to help them out and explain things to them, and even my senior said you did the best you could. They just did not want to listen, they didn't want to hear it. They kept saying they flew last week with a different airline that let them sit with her. That doesn't make sense. It's not like an airline rule, it's like a CAA rule. It's not that we're just here to make you miserable, it's that we're here to literally protect everyone's lives, and we're trying to be as safe as possible. Guys, it's so serious that you literally, if your child is over the age of 2 and they don't want to sit in their own seat, we cannot give cabin secure to our pilot, which means we cannot either take off if that's what we're doing, waiting to do, or we can't land if that's what we're waiting to do. That's how serious of an issue it is. And that's something I think people don't understand. It was just a lot of back and forth, and they were getting very irritated with us, and we were just trying to be as professional and courteous as we possibly could. We tried to explain to them. And the thing is also, I even said to them, ma'am, if the CAA were on board right now, which they could secretly be, like, so if the CAA were on board and they see that I am letting a child that is above the age of 2 sit on its parents' lap during takeoff and landing, I could lose my license. Like, people don't understand how serious that could get. Like, I could literally lose my license, which means I could lose my job. And I take that very seriously, so I'm never ever gonna skimp on doing my job properly. It's unfortunate, it's really an unfortunate event. I hope you guys don't take this as me like complaining at all about that flight. Not at all. I'm literally just trying to let you guys know, whether you've only ever been a passenger, whether you are a flight attendant, whether you're aspiring to be a flight attendant, there's certain things that might not make sense to passengers that you as a flight attendant will have to explain to them, because for us safety comes first, and that's ultimately what we're trying to do. Just makes me really sad, because at the end of the day I always just want my passengers to be really, really happy and have a good flight with us and all these things. So when something like this happens, to me, it like weighs on my mind for several days. I'm always thinking, how, like, could I have handled it any better? Could I have done this? Could I have done that? And even after they disembarked, the people that were next to them said to me, like, you were so professional. If somebody did that to me when I was just trying to do my job, I would have lost it. Because I mean, they weren't very nice when they were responding to me. At least it's good that other people recognized that I really did try my best, and my senior as well. He also noticed that I really did as best as I could. He stood there for a while and let me explain everything to them before he stepped in, and he literally got to the point where he was like repeating everything that I'd said. But ultimately, I'm just trying to be realistic and just share that sometimes things don't go your way, or like sometimes when you're trying to secure your cabin and stuff, it doesn't come very easily. That's more what I'm trying to do. So I hope you guys don't take this as me complaining, and hopefully that will help you out if you are trying to be a flight attendant or something like that. Just it's funny, even though I really like to be on point, do my job well and be prepared, I had the dumbest moment today. I literally put a fork in my bag. I completely forgot about it. I cut up a mango and I packed it, and I knew that when I was at work I wouldn't want to eat it like with my hands or anything, so I decided to pack a fork. But the thing is, I didn't even think of looking for a plastic fork because I know I've got plastic forks lying around somewhere. I just took one of my metal forks, like, and I put them in my bag. And so there we are, dawdling through security in the beginning of the day, and then like my bag goes through the x-ray and the security lady is like, excuse me, can you please remove your fork? And I just like hit a blank. I was like, what? My what? And she was like, your fork, please remove it from your bags. And I was like, what fork? And then I remembered and I was like, oh no. And my crew are all standing there and they're like, Andy, why are you being held up? Because usually like there's nothing really that stops us. We all know like what we should bring and what not to bring, you would think. And so we're walking there and the crew are like, what's going on? And so I like go through my bag and stuff, and I just hold up my fork. I'm like, and they all laughed so hard. Like I was the running joke of the day. Like whenever one of us would like forget something or do something silly, they'd be like, yo, like Andy bringing a fork to work. I don't know what happened. I don't know why I brought a fork. In case you're not following, you're not allowed to bring a fork on a plane. I just hit such a blank and I was like, oh my gosh, Andy, you brought a fork to work on a plane? Like even you know you're not allowed to do that, but well done. And they literally confiscated it. They didn't give it back to me, which I completely understand. Oh gosh, so that's how my day started and ended. I'm gonna stop blabbing on now and then call it a night. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 14. Good night.